afternoon. My name is Tripina Yuyun and my student number are 20, 70, 12, and 58. And in this video, I will talk about morphemes, which is the subtopic of morphology. I choose this topic because it's really interesting when I can identify there is the unit in word that I don't know in the previous. So let's go for the next slide for the more explanation. Okay, morpheme is the smallest unit in word that cannot be divided anymore. So as you can see in the screen, there is word reasonable. In word reasonable, there are three morphemes, which are on here is a prefix, and then reason here is a noun, and then the suffix able. So for another example from word flies. In word flies here, there are two morphemes, which are fly. Fly here is a verb, and then the morphemes es, the suffix es. So it's clear that in word flies, there are two morphemes. Later on, we will get to know about the different kind of morphemes and their part. But before we go there, we need to keep in our mind that morphemes totally different with syllables. It means that syllables is the unit of pronunciation, while morphemes is the smallest unit in word that cannot divide it anymore. So you need to remember that. Okay, move on to the different kind of morphemes. The first one is bound morphemes. You can see in the screen. Bound morphemes is the morpheme that cannot stand alone. So you need to combine it with another morphemes or word to have meaning. Like the example in brackets, you can see the suffix eng there. It's a bound morpheme, so you need to combine it with word, which is read. So it's become reading. It's have meaning. Okay, bound morphemes have two parts. The first one is inflectionals. Inflectionals always indicate the grammar function, like the kind of verb and the pluralness. You can see in the brackets, the word is pointed in dots. Please pay attention to the suffix that I already make it into red. Okay, in the word disappointed, the suffix ed there is inflectionals because it's indicate the different kind of verb. And then in the word dogs, the suffix s there is the inflectionals because it's indicate the pluralness. Okay, next, another part of bound morphemes is derivational. Derivationals here mean that it's always change the class of word and the meaning of the word. You can see in the example below, in word right, the word right here is a verb, and then you add it with a suffix er, so it's become writer, which is the noun. It's changed from verb into noun, so the class of word is changed. And then another example, please pay attention to the word pretty. Word pretty here means there's something that beautiful or good looking, yeah, like that. And then you add it with an. On here is prefix, or it's derivationals because it changed the meaning of the pretty itself, which is unpretty. Unpretty here means is opposite from the pretty. So that's how derivationals work in word. Okay, that's all for the bound morphemes. Move on to the next slide. Here we will discuss about the another kind of morphemes, which is free morphemes. Free morphemes is morphemes that have its meaning, so you don't need to combine it with another morphemes or word to have meaning. But to identify it, it's quite easy because we can find it in our daily vocabulary or word that we use in our daily basis, like cry, eat, in, on, or dog. That's what free morpheme means. And also, free morphemes have two parts. The first one is open class, or also known as lexical morphemes. These morphemes just the word that cannot divide it anymore, like right, you cannot divide it into another word, right? So it's the open class. Another example of open class is book, good, or etc. Next, the another part of free morphemes is closed class, or also known as functional morphemes. Functional morphemes always indicate the preposition. It also can be the pronoun and the article. You can see clearly in the screen there are at, it, on, or off, and etc. That's mention or indicate the prepositions, and then there are I, you, they, we, and etc. It's indicate the pronouns, and then the articles, which are a, and the. So the or the. So that's mention the articles. So that's closed class means. It's something that always indicate the pronunciation, the prepositions, or the article. So that's all for the explanation of the morphemes and their part and their kind of morphemes. Next slide, we will try to identify the different kind morphemes in word unreasonable and flies. Okay, let's start from word unreasonable. In the previous slide, we already know that in word unreasonable, there are three morphemes, which are unreason and able. Here, let's try to identify morpheme un. Morpheme un here is a prefix, and then it's bound morphemes. It's bound morphemes because it cannot stand alone, so you need to combine it with another word or morphemes to have meaning, and then it's part of derivationals because it's changed the meaning of the word. Okay, next for morphemes reason. Morpheme reasons here is a noun, and then it's kind of free morphemes because it can stand alone, so you don't need to combine it with another word to have meaning. It's already have yeah, it already have its meaning. Okay, and morpheme reasons is uh, part of open class because it's cannot divide it anymore. Okay, next for the morphemes able. Morpheme able here is the suffix, and then it's from free morphemes because able can stand alone. The morpheme able can stand alone, so you don't need to combine it with another word to have meaning. And then the morpheme able here is from open class because it's cannot divide it anymore, and it's not mentioned the prepositions, the pronoun, or the article, so it's from open class. Okay, next from word flies. In the previous slide, we already know that there are two morphemes in word flies, which are fly and suffix es. The morphemes fly is a free morphemes because it's already have its meaning, so you don't need to combine it with another word or morphemes to have meaning. And it's from open class because word fly cannot divide it anymore, and it's not mentioned the preposition, the pronoun, or the article. And next for morphemes or suffix es. Morpheme es or the suffix es here is a bound morphemes because it cannot stand alone, so you need to combine it with another word to have meaning, and then it's from inflectionals because it's not change the meaning or the class of words, but it's just indicates the pluraliness. So it's all for the explanation, the kind of morphemes and their part. Okay. hopefully my explanation is clear enough so you can get something from this video. And thank you